And what I'm holding up here is probably the classic Atlantic salmon rod. I have a large arbor spooled reel. This particular one is made by Cortland, and it's loaded with 9-weight weighted forward floating line. So if you look at it in stores, the code for it is WF9F, weighted forward, number 9 weight, floating line. And you can see the rod here is a Precision made by Cortland, and it's also 9 feet long. Now this particular rod has a fighting butt. Most salmon fishermen, especially if they're going to be hooking larger salmon or planning on it, will choose a rod that has a fighting butt. Now one tip that I'll give you when it comes to picking a fly rod, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a quality fly rod, but make sure that you have a locking ring. So what I'm doing here, notice that I'm undoing one ring. You can see the reel seat actually locks in, is almost like a ring, and then I've got my second ring that's there. So a lot of reels will only come with one ring to lock the reel, and a lot of times when you're casting, that ring will come loose. It's very important that that's locked in tight, because I have seen people hook a fish and their reel fall off. Kind of embarrassing, and they'll probably lose the fish. The other thing, when you're making a lot of casts, because sometimes when you're salmon fishing, you're going to be making thousands of casts to find that one trophy fish. Every once in a while, you have to make sure that where your rod comes together is solid. So you got to push on it to make sure that it's tight. Because after casting for sometimes hours, the rod can actually slowly work its way out. Your first indication is when the guides don't line up, so you know that it's actually twisted. So the last thing you want is, again, to hook a fish and the rod to snap, because there's a gap in there. Very important that that furl is tight. So if you have the right gear, you check it every once in a while, you're probably going to land that fish of a lifetime.